The occultist Murray Hope, a Wicca priestess and student of classical mysticism, published the book Under the Sign of Sirius, The Enigma of Egyptian Prehistory in 1990. In this book, she mentions that she has contact with a group in Egypt who strictly observe the old traditions. She calls this group the Ammonite Foundation and explains that these people have never converted to Islam or Coptic Christianity, cultivating an old tradition of at least 3,000 years. One of those who continue this tradition to this day is Abd el-Hakim Awayan. In the book, Hakim speaks with pleasure about the old tradition to which he feels so connected. He was chosen from a young age by the oldest woman in the tribe to preserve this tradition and pass it on. Hakim studied at Cairo University, graduating with a degree in archaeology and Egyptology and being a good linguist. Hakim says that the ancient Egyptians did not call their country Egypt, but KMT, a name that had various spellings: Khemit, Kemet, Kemet, Kem, Alkem, or Kemt. The language was called Khemite, and the people Khemites. The tradition of the original inhabitants, as Hakim learned, was an ancient teaching which was based on oral transmission, leading to an era in which there were no writings. Hakim insists that the name Kem, the Black Land, did not mean the skin color or race of the Khemite people, Africans, but the name came from the annual flooding of the Nile River that gave this country its black appearance. Hakim also emphasizes that more than 10,000 years ago, the Khemite culture was very advanced. One of the central teachings of the Khemite tradition is that today's Nile was not the river known to the prehistoric Khemites. There used to be a long river in the land that now flows on the edge of the western desert of Egypt. This ancient river has been called by various geologists the original Nile or Proto-Nile. There is much debate in scientific circles about its existence. Hakim says that the four main oases in the western desert, Bahariya, Farsifra, Dakhla, and Kurga, are remnants of the great ancient Nile. In his opinion, this is today one of the most important scientific starting points and evidence for the basic idea that the Khemites supplied themselves with water from reservoirs in the west, where today only the desert with oases exists. The Great Change occurred about 11,500 years ago, at the end of the late glacial period. At that time, changes in geophysical and climatic conditions occurred throughout the world in a short period of time. The rain that used to fall abundantly in North Africa, and which determined abundant vegetation, lakes and rivers with high flows, almost completely stopped, which led to a dramatic decrease in water sources, developing the conditions for today's desert. Water played, as for any civilization, a vital role for the Khemite one. According to Hakim, the origin of the Khemite people lies in 42 original tribes. These 42 tribes seem to have been formed from all the races known today of all peoples. Thus, we can assume that North Africa was a kind of original gathering place for many peoples, therefore also from outside Africa, and already many thousands of years before the Greeks or other superior cultures, it brought forth an extremely developed civilization. He is convinced that there were many here who came from the west, Atlantis, and from the north, Hyperborea, possibly also from Asia. Another possibility that Hakim considers probable is the well-known theory according to which in the early development of mankind there were various bringers of culture from outside, that is, extraterrestrials, who gave people originating from different eras and different regions of the earth a cultural impetus for development. If we give credence to the legends and accounts of the ancient Egyptians and many other peoples around the globe, then it means that once upon a time gods lived together with people on earth in a golden age. Who are these gods? Are they representatives of higher cultures who once came to visit and stayed here?